Alright, I know it's been a couple of weeks. I do apologize for the lack of uploads. I have been busy with uni and I have been sick, so again, I do apologize. And now onto the video. Over the last couple of weeks to a month, we've been getting gameplay, trailers, and other information and leaks and whatnot about Liberty Falls and Terminus. Some great, some eh. But I've seen a very big divide in the community stances between the two maps. I've seen a lot of praise for Terminus, and, rightfully so. And I have seen nothing stellar, I've seen just a lot of disappointment when it comes to the views about Terminus, right? And I just wanted to put my own thoughts in it, right? First, I just want to make this clear. Whether or not you like to admit it, we will probably never get a game like Black Ops 3 Zombies. It will never happen again. Why that is? It could be a lot of things, but my personal opinion is that Treyarch are creatively bankrupt, right? And we saw this a lot with Cold War Zombies, albeit it could very well be the fact that Cold War was, they didn't have a very long time to actually develop it. So I'll give them that. And I genuinely really did like Cold War. I thought the gameplay was great, but it lacked any personality in regards to the storyline and the zombies maps. They were very boring and they were all just facilities with nothing else to them. And I genuinely could not tell you the story of Cold War Zombies, if I'm going to be honest with you. But I played a lot of Cold War, did the Easter eggs, got Dark Aether, and it was a genuinely fun game. And the overpowered nature of it was actually really fun. And contrary to what a lot of people say, I really enjoyed that aspect because I played I started Zombies on Black Ops 1 and World at War, where you were very underpowered, if anything. Especially, the weapon balancing in those games was just awful, but, it's the start of Zombies, so you gotta start somewhere, I guess. And a lot of aspects of Cold War, unsurprisingly, have been brought over to Black Ops 6. Is that a surprise? Not at all. When I heard that it was a mix between Black Ops Cold War and Black Ops 3 Zombies, I knew it would be mostly Cold War, because it's a more newer game, and I feel like Treyarch is honestly just trying to cater to two fan bases here. They're trying to get the OG feel of Zombies back, but adding the newer, the newer mechanics from newer games to invite different audiences over, which, I understand and all that. It brings more players to play the game. But those players that aren't a part of the Zombies community per se really don't care much about Black Ops 6 Zombies or just Zombies in general. They'll play it on the odd Tuesday, on the odd Saturday night with the boys, right? They'll be like, you know what, let's rock some Zombies, and they'll play it probably the Giant or some Zombies Chronicles map, right? And it's a bit of a slap in the face to the Zombies community, who have been passionate about Zombies for the last decade or whenever you joined, right? And it feels and especially because it doesn't help where Outbreak was the turning point for Cold War Zombies and brought the most amount of players, because it had the open world element of Warzone, which I have my own opinion on it. I personally think that Warzone is very boring, and I've played it a couple times. I really didn't have much fun with it, but in saying that, I'm not a real Battle Royale fan regardless, so that kind of, will affect my opinion on Outbreak. And I didn't like Outbreak that much. I thought it was really boring, and it doesn't play like Zombies. Zombies is a survival-based mode. It's not an objective-based mode. You could argue that the main quests kind of are, would make it somewhat objective-based, but the premise of Zombies is surviving as many rounds as you possibly can. That's why I didn't like Vanguard Zombies really at all, and that's why I despise Modern Warfare Zombies, or Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, sorry, because it is not Zombies at all. the Zombies fan and Zombies community have been completely left out in regards to Modern Warfare Zombies. And people will argue that, Zombies is boring because the round-based element, it makes it repetitive, right? But you're doing the same thing with Modern Warfare Zombies anyways. You spawn in, run to a contract, complete that contract maybe 3 or 4 times, and you're out of the game. 45 minutes to play, and okay, we're getting a bit sidetracked, but you know what I mean. But back to Black Ops 6 Zombies. It's catering for 2 fan bases, and I don't see why, especially because Zombies is treading on a relatively thin line, I feel like, where a lot of people are starting to lose hope, especially with the release of Vanguard Zombies, which had the most embarrassing release of any Zombies game, and Modern Warfare Zombies, which, it was great for, the first 2 games, and then it just got really, really old, and there really wasn't that much new aside from missions. There was no, new map, which I'm not really surprised, and to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, but the map that you even played on was not original. It was a Warzone map, but you're going to have to correct me on that. Back to Black Ops 6. A lot of people are not happy with Liberty Falls. Whether it's the look of the map layout, the way it plays, and whatnot. And I think they're valid points. I personally think that the map looks extremely boring and soulless. And we had that issue with every single Cold War Zombies map. The only area I felt that was very interesting in Cold War was the Dark Ether in Die Maschine and the Berlin Wall area of Malderton. Aside from that, forget about the rest of the maps. They were very boring. I'll take Town for an example, right? Because that's a map I feel like is very similar to Liberty Falls in the sense of how it plays. Town's a very basic survival map, but if you look at it, it's a part of Transit, obviously, and what happened with Transit is, the rockets hit the Earth and destroyed the Earth, right? And you could see that you're in this dark area that's destroyed, covered with lava, right? And it's cool. It's like a post-apocalyptic setting. Whereas Whereas Liberty Falls, I get that, it's just a simple outbreak, zombies appear out of a portal, whatever. And, you got a few cars turned around and whatnot, but there's nothing really interesting to look at. You got some turned over cars, but the destruction is just bare. It's just very minimum. Ambient sounds, I feel ambient sounds are missing from it, whereas in Town you'd hear, whooshing from wind and all that. You'd hear, a clock in the background and whatnot. There was ambience to it. You could hear fire crackling. In this, it's just nothing. Even when I was playing maps like Moon, which the ambience of Moon, they killed it. Because you're in space, you don't hear much, and it makes you really feel like you're truly, truly alone. In Liberty Falls, it's just, there's nothing to it. It feels more like a multiplayer map or like a Warzone area that they cut out and made it into a survival map. And it is a little disappointing considering that the cinematic we got for it was awesome. It was great. One of the best we've had in years. But we must remember, this is a beta, it's a demo. This is the very scratch of the surface, as you will. They're going to disable a lot of content. They're going to give you just the map to play as if it's just any regular map. You're probably playing this map the same way you're playing Kino de Toten. You just get your perks, hit the box, and whatnot, right? Whereas Terminus is going to play a lot differently because Terminus is a massive, massive map filled with Easter eggs and I don't know what else, I'm going to be honest with you, but it's filled with a lot of content, whereas Liberty Falls is very basic. But the way I think of it like Terminus is Shadows of Evil and Liberty Falls is a Giant. As in, Shadows of Evil was an experience, right? Very, complicated when you first played it, because it's a very different map with like the rituals, the Pack-a-Punch system. You got the Civil Protector, the Beast mode, Gobbleguns and all that. Where the Giant is, everyone's played Derice, so everyone's more familiar with it. But I remember when Black Ops 3 first came out, not a lot of people liked Shadows of Evil, whether it was because it was difficult, whereas a 3-hit system, zombies hit quicker, whatnot, right? The Magwas were tough, but not a lot of people liked it. I was very iffy on it. Like, I didn't think it was an awful map, but it wasn't my favourite. And now it's aged like fine wine. Like, some regard it as the best map of all time, or even like one of the best, and it's a phenomenal map. And I feel like we have to take with a grain of salt here with Liberty Falls, because I feel like the map will be more well liked. Like, personally, I kind of knew that one. My original take on this was that one of the maps will be great and one of the maps will be mid. And I still kind of stand by that to an extent, because Zombies, I feel like, has lacked art direction, which I will kind of explain that in a different video to an extent. Like, whereas Black Ops 6 God, I can't speak anymore. Liberty Falls, that's the map. Yes, Liberty Falls. The art direction is kind of boring. And that's what a lot of people, I feel like, are complaining about, is that the gameplay is boring, the map is boring to look at, and it's just setting in gameplay, really. And not a lot of people do like Cold War's mechanics, which I understand, and then it looks very, very easy. And Treyarch, I don't know what they're going to do to change the difficulty with it, because I don't want the zombies to hit any faster, because it's just annoying. There have been rumors of a classic game mode where, like, it would play a lot like maybe Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 Zombies, where like it's a 2-hit, maybe 3-hit system. You get a shield, there's no weapon rarities, and I think that would be awesome, but I don't think it's realistic. But you never know, because remember, for Vanguard Zombies, they had to revamp the entire Zombies mode just to fit Shin Onuma Reborn and the Archon. They had to do so much work to change the way it played, because no one liked the objective-based gameplay, and rightfully so. It was awful. It's very possible we could get something like this in a later DLC or a season or whatever. But also, remember that the word grief has been in the game files for years and years, and we've only seen it in Black Ops 2, so I will take it with a grain of salt. But I think it would be a great decision to make for it, especially because everyone has been whining about, like, they want classic Zombies back, even though I think we're not going to see it anytime soon, and that's just me being realistic about it. But you never know. Treyarch will surprise us with something. But I think the maps look fine, the gameplay looks good, and you know what? I'm happy with it. I do understand the criticisms, however, but I will be taking it with a grain of salt, purely for the fact that the game hasn't even come out yet. Like, come on. The game's not even out, and I think it might launch with issues, because we saw it with Black Ops 4, we saw it with Cold War, we even saw it with World War 2, and obviously Vanguard, that no game launch is perfect. And I know I've been waffling on about different subjects here, but like, I just wanted to make this video because I feel like a lot of people are jumping the gun on Black Ops 6 Zombies when we don't even know what we're getting. Like, we're supposedly getting a map in December. Well, from what I've heard at least. And that must mean that they are working on that map now, or they will be working on it when the game launches, which I don't know why they're releasing a map in December. Like, maybe it's like a safe thing, like something to fall back on if they don't like Terminus or Liberty Falls, which is very possible. But we don't know yet. And my hopes are still relatively high, but low enough to the point where I'm not glazing the game or anything. I think I'm just a bit iffy on it. I'm just being careful. I don't want to get myself too hyped, so I'll be disappointed, but there's enough hype there that I'm excited for the game. And I think the game looks great. The beta is fun. I love the multiplayer. The Omni movement is a bit whack, and I have been killed many times by someone like dolphin diving sideways and then shooting me in the head. But it's been really fun, and this is the most fun I've had with a multiplayer since maybe World War II, and that multiplayer really was not great. But I would like to know what everyone else's thoughts on this are, because I think we do need to give it a chance, and I think we need to realise that the days of Black Ops 3 are over, and I don't think they're coming back. I don't think that hype for zombies or the quality of zombies maps that we got will be back anytime soon. But you never know, because Treyarch can always surprise us. And to wrap this video up, I do apologise that I haven't been uploading, and yeah, I hope you like this one. See ya.